What's up everybody, it's Austin here from Make Pop Music and Austin Hole Audio and Visual, and today we are back with another tutorial. And for today's video we wanted to do something a little different and a little special. So we've done a lot of vocal mixing on the channel before. We've done how to mix male vocals, female vocals, we've done vocal production, we've done all these little tips and tricks. However, we've never actually gone in and done a vocal mix straight from stock plugins. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be using Cubase, and we're going to be using all of the stock plugins that Cubase comes with. If you're not in Cubase, you can use whatever stock plugins are in your DAW. They're probably going to mirror this pretty closely. And if you're in a DAW that doesn't have a ton of options for stock plugins, you can actually download third-party free plugins that are going to be very, very similar to all of these, and you can kind of follow along. Not only are we going to be using stock plugins, but I did go ahead and use a cheaper mic and preamp option on this. So I used a Shure SM7B instead of my VMS1 or one of my JZ mics, and I went ahead and used the PreSonus audio box instead of using my Apollo. So this is basically what it sounds like to get a $300 mic coming through a $100 interface straight into stock plugins and nothing else. So let's go ahead and hop into the session and let's start mixing this thing from scratch. Okay, now we're in the DAW. Let's go ahead and let's actually take a look at the vocal straight as it came in. This has nothing on it. Let's go ahead and just listen to what it sounds like.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around.
So the first thing I do is, this was already done, I just go ahead and pitch correct the vocals in Very Audio. And the reason that I like this, I'll even do this when I'm using something like Auto-Tune, it's just so I can get a really good handle on it. You can make sure every note is where it needs to be. You can straighten them up however much you want. And honestly, this is like having a really, really nice graph mode in something like Auto-Tune or even Melodyne. In my, actual paid chain, I would throw Auto-Tune on first in the mix even after this. However, since we don't have that today, let's go ahead and just say, forget it. And let's go ahead and start listening to this in the context of the mix.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. We had too much to drink without any warning.
Let me go ahead and let me send this over to my actual lead vocals bus.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. We had too much to drink without any warning.
So that's it with nothing on it. Let's go ahead, and the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to EQ it. So this is Studio EQ. This is a really good kind of free alternative for something like FabFilter, where you are going to want to go in and get some nitty-gritty frequencies that you're not loving so much. So let's go ahead and let's look. I turn the spectrum on.
We had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes.
So I definitely want to take some of that low mid out and some of this kind of honky mid.
On the floor, I can't say no.
I am going to go ahead and throw on a low cut filter right now. Take it up to like 100 hertz or whatever, just so we don't get any kind of AC rumbling. And let's hear it now.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning.
That tightened it up quite a bit. So we're just going to take out that low end right there and leave that for now. The first thing I'm going to want to do is add a compressor. And I'm not going to use something that's got a lot of color, just so I can go ahead and I can get an actual sound that I want. So I'm going to turn this to kind of like 4/1 or around there. We'll have a pretty fast attack. Let's go to like 10 milliseconds. And we'll just put the release right here in the middle for now. And then let's drive this threshold down as we start listening so we can get some gain reduction.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. We had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor. I can't say no.
So I kind of like that. Let me loosen up the release a little bit and see what's happening.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. We had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room.
So honestly, we're already at a really, really, really good starting point. Everything is starting to already come together with just that one EQ and that one compressor. I am going to go ahead and de-ess before I add any other stuff. And for de-essing, typically, I'll just start with one of their presets. And the end there is really low. I like to de-ess up to like either 9 or 10K, just to kind of get some of that top end.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. We had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor. I can't say no.
Cool. Now we're actually getting some DS, like 4 to 5 dB when it's actually hitting really hard. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and add a compressor that's going to kind of give me some color and just squeeze that thing a little bit harder. So this is where I'll use something like the vintage compressor, because what we can do with this is we can actually go ahead and start emulating some things like an 1176, where we have like the attack here and the release here. I don't know if that's specifically what this is modeled after. However, it will look familiar with all the controls. So we'll leave the mix at 100 right now. Let's go ahead and turn this also on 4 to 1. We'll have a fast attack. Let's go ahead and keep this release right here and let's see what we've got going.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the output down so I can drive the input so we get some gain reduction.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. We had too much to drink without any warning.
So we're starting to sound really, really good. This green line right here, that's going to be where your actual channel strip is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a little bit of the 200 out that I'm hearing is kind of nasty and boomy. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor.
I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of the nasally frequency out that's up here. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor.
And then I'm going to go ahead and use the 4th band, and I'll actually change this to parametric, which is going to give me a bell. And let's see.
I can't say no.
Tighten up that Q a little bit.
And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
There we go, that should tighten it up quite a bit. Let's take a listen.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning.
Let me go ahead and give us some top end right here, just because I'm not using this anyway. I'll go ahead and boost like 7K up. Let's see.
At my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
I think we're really cooking here. Let me go ahead and DS one more time, just to make sure we're not getting anything after we've boosted that top end. And I'll go ahead and I'll use a little bit different one. We'll use the DS instead of the SDS.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning.
So there's with nothing, here's with everything.
You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and
Let's DS a little bit more because we are getting some stuff that I don't love.
I can't say no. 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start.
Let me scoop a little bit more of this kind of low mid out. Maybe just widen it up actually a little bit, and that might do it.
You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
Now I'm ready to start adding stuff. Let's go ahead and let's add the first thing that we like to do, and that's vocal parallel widening. So normally you see me using Roland Dimension D. However, in today's video, actually before I add the chorus, I'm going to go ahead and add mono to stereo so we can get a stereo vocal on this actual send. Let's go ahead and add studio chorus. Let's see what we can do. Let's try this background vocal. Let's turn it to 100 and 100.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. I'm wrapped around your finger, feelings are forming. Got me hooked because I never felt this important. Always told myself I wouldn't do this no more, and wouldn't you know, I'm breaking every rule I make. Can we take it all back? Before we made it complicated, 'cause we're way too attached. But now I'm too intoxicated and the surface is scratched. And I was fine before you came, and now I'm under attack. And I think I need some saving. And do you feel the same?
So that sounds pretty good. Let me go ahead and see if I can add, let's see. I'm just gonna boost the output with this.
Drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning.
That'll work for now, just to give us a little bit of width. Let's go ahead and add a short reverb. So let's do, I love RoomWorks from Cubase. This is actually a really fire reverb that I haven't used in forever, that I kind of miss. And let's start with this vocal plate. However, since it is short, we've got a reverb time of 1.6. Let's take that down to more like 0.8 and turn the pre-delay down a little bit. Turn the mix up, and let's boost this gain. So, since we're using it on a send, I'm gonna go ahead and boost that gain. That way it's actually returning back like we need it to. And then, oh, let me select short right here. And let's kind of blend that into taste.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor. I can't say no.
Let's go ahead and take some of these highs out.
Now I'm wrapped around your finger, feelings are forming. Got me hooked because I never felt as important. Always told myself I wouldn't do this no more. Wouldn't you know? I'm breaking every rule of me. Can we take it all back? Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
Cool, that sounded pretty good. Let's go ahead and hear it in the context of the mix.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning.
Perfect. Let's go ahead and let's go add a slapback delay. So for the slap delay, I am going to use ping pong. Actually, instead of using ping pong, let's go ahead and use stereo, because ping pong doesn't give you the option to set each side how you want. And when I'm doing slapback delays, I'll like one in like a triplet or a dotted and one in just standard. I think I'm going to go dotted for this. And let's turn that. Actually, we can probably keep this high. Turn the mix up to 100. And let's start messing around.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor.
Cut some of those highs out, cut some of those lows out.
Flooring, I can't say no. Now I'm right at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
We'll set that right there. Let's go ahead and let's start adding what everybody really wants, and that is a longer reverb. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and use RoomWorks again. And let's see what kind of plate settings they have. Let's go ahead and use something like this bright plate. Obviously turning the mix up to 100. Go ahead, cut out some of the highs. That way it's not super bright. Let's go ahead and turn this all the way up. And let's start mixing that in, and then we'll see what we need to do after that. Let's see.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning. And we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing.
So I definitely want it a bit bigger. And what I'm going to want to do is filter out some of these highs and some of these lows, So I'm gonna go ahead and take this to like 3.5K and take this to like 400.
There's no more we're knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning.
So we're starting to sound really good. Let's add our last thing, and that's going to be a stereo delay. So I'm just going to add stereo delay. And for this, let's set one side to 1/4 and one side to like 1/4 dotted. Turn the mix up to 100. Again, cut out some of the highs, cut out some of the lows. And we do that just because I don't like the full range being on my actual delays or reverbs, because then it just makes everything a bit muddy. And I am going to go ahead and send this straight over to effects. Let's go ahead and send this to the long reverb as well. And let's see what that is.
You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor. I can't say no. You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink
Let me turn down the reverb send on that delay.
without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
Again, I'm going to filter some of this out.
Oh, you come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we
Let's try half time dotted.
knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. I'm wrapped around your finger.
Let's just boost all of these sends a little bit.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
I am going to go ahead and pull this down because I am getting a little bit of top end that I'm not loving. Let's see.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
Let's go more to the top end because I'm getting a lot of that kind of S sibilance.
Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. Knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and
I think for this delay send, I do want more low end back in, and I do want more high end cut out. So let's try that.
I can't say no.
So now we've done that. Now I think we've got a pretty solid vocal mix of everything that's kind of going by itself. So we've got EQ, compress, DS, and then we got a little bit more EQ before this DS right here. So let's go ahead and start adding in some extra flourishes. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this channel over to this channel, and this is going to be a 1/4 delay send. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and I'll move this down to the bottom because it's not going to be as particular here. Let's go ahead and add stereo delay on this. And since this is going to be just for an effect, we're going to go ahead and turn up 100% wet. Let's do, I think we can probably do 1/4 and 1/4 and half dotted again. However, with this, we're going to be adding some extra effects to get that kind of delay throw that we do a lot in our songs.
We had morning, and we had.
Now let's add some distortion. Let's see. Let's turn that feedback way down.
Door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing at the door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around.
Let's see.
4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start
So I am still using a stereo delay. However, I just went ahead and turned sync off and turned that up like 100 milliseconds-ish. So we are just getting a 4th delay. And what that's going ahead and doing is actually spreading it just a little bit. So let's go ahead and filter this out.
Door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning.
I'm gonna go ahead and add some EQ just because that one's not doing it all for me. Let's go ahead and cut. Let's do the same thing over here. Go ahead and boost that. Turn the Q up. Let's see what we got now.
Door at 4 in the morning, and we had.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. So now we've got a 4th delay.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. At my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much.
So it's a little dry on its own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also go ahead and add, can't add that, that's paid. Let's go ahead and add some reverb. I'll add RoomWorks again. And honestly, it might be fine just on this stock setting. Turn the time up a little bit.
Much to drink 4 in the morning, and we had too much.
Cool, that sounded pretty sick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and also copy this and show you guys one more thing that you can do. So let's go ahead and paste that. This is gonna be a low delay throw. And so I'm gonna go ahead and add, Cubase has a pitch correction that I don't actually ever use for pitch correction, but what I will use it for is transposing and doing like those formatted vocals. So I'm gonna transpose it down, turn the shift down a little bit, turn the tolerance to 0, and let's see.
You come knocking out.
Let's go straight to it.
I can't say no.
Let me turn that to the right thing.
I can't say no.
I want that a little bit drier, so I am gonna go ahead and turn down the reverb on that and shorten it up and make it just bigger.
Flooring. I can't say no. Now I'm.
So let's try that in the mix.
I can't say no.
Let me bring the shift down just a little bit.
Around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no.
There we go. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this. Bring it down in the mix a little bit.
I can't say no.
Now we're gonna do the exact same thing. So I'll copy and paste this. And we're gonna actually, instead of going down, let's take it up. So I'm gonna go back into pitch correction and I'm gonna go ahead and turn this to +12 and I'll put this to like +30. And I'll go ahead and I'm now gonna want this one a little bit longer. So let's do that.
Flooring. I can't say no.
Let me route it to my leads. Here we go.
I can't say no. Now I'm wrapped around your finger, feelings are forming. Got me hooked because I never felt this important. Always told myself I wouldn't do this no more. Wouldn't you know? Breaking every rule of me.
All right, now we've added everything. Let's go ahead and let's listen all together.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. Now I'm right.
Let me just make a couple last little minute changes to these. I'm gonna go ahead and put the studio reverb after. Let's do that. I think I do want this one a little bit bigger. And again, pull the EQ afterwards because it's not filtering out quite as much as I want in the top end. Let's try that now.
I can't say no. Now I'm wrapped around your finger, feelings are forming. Got me hooked because I know.
Sounds pretty good. One last thing I'm gonna do is I wanna tighten up these kind of low mids just a little bit, and then we'll be good to go. So let me go ahead and take off all of these because I don't want those messing with anything, and I'll start this at like 100. Let's go up to like 400, just the little boxy areas. Turn the ratio up.
I never felt this important. Always told myself I wouldn't do this no more, and wouldn't you know, I'm breaking every rule I made. Can we take it all back before we made it complicated? Cause we're way too attached. But now I'm too intoxicated and the surface is scratched. And I was fine before you came, and now I'm under attack. And I think I need some saving. And do you feel the same?
Now it's a little compressed, but I brought it down, so it's a little bit more consistent. Let's check.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. Now I'm wrapped.
Pull this up, pull this down, and voila, I think we have a whole vocal mix completely inside of Cubase with stock plugins. Let's give it one last listen now that I've made those tweaks.
You come knocking at my door at 4 in the morning, and we had too much to drink without any warning. You start dancing around my room, your clothes on the floor, and I can't say no. Now I'm wrapped around your finger, feelings are forming. Got me hooked because I never felt this important. Always told myself I wouldn't do this no more. Wouldn't you know, breaking every rule I made. Can we take it all back?
I think that's it. And there you have it. There's what it's like to make a complete vocal chain from actual stock plugins. We did the entire chain itself. We set up all of our synths, all of our effects tracks. We did all of the production, only using stock plugins, even our tuning. So hopefully this was an eye-opener to show you guys that you don't have to go buy thousands and thousands of dollars worth of plugins. However, if you want to, I think that there's always nice flavors to add, and I think that just the workaround and the actual workflow of some of the paid plugins are a little bit easier sometimes, especially when you're trying to crank out mixes, you know, really, really quickly for clients, or you're doing a whole bunch of stuff at one time. But with all of that said, there is no excuse not to be getting at least a solid vocal inside of your DAW with whatever you've got, with whatever mic and interface you've got. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. We'd love to know what you want to see next. Go ahead and comment down below what you're looking for on this channel, and we'll go ahead and we'll make some videos for you. Other than that, definitely head over to our website and check out all of our samples, courses, all of our free content. We got blog posts, and if you want to, you can go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. Other than that, we hope you guys enjoy this video, and we will see you next time. Much love, make pop music. Peace out.
I don't wanna wait if we're done.